Hey, what's up guys, Nolan here, and in this video today I'm going to be going over the iPad 2 and the iPad 3, doing a close-up comparison between the two on their specs, making it easier on those of you that are struggling on which one you should buy. I'll be going over all the difference between these according to the hardware, not the software. So, to start off, nothing was changed in the layout of all the buttons and everything on the iPad 2 from the iPad 3. Nothing was changed. You have all the buttons in the same spot: volume rocker, mute switch, lock button, front-facing camera, home button, 30-pin dock, speaker. Everything is that same spot, except for one thing was changed, and that was the outer lens of the camera. It was enlarged by just a little bit. If you get a close shot like this, you can see that from the iPad 2 to the iPad 3, the camera lens was enlarged just a hair. As far as that goes, that is the only difference between these two devices according to the outer dimensions, the buttons and everything. But what actually did change was under the hood. All the specs inside of these two devices is what really changed. So in the iPad 2, we'll start off with the camera. In the iPad 2, I'll do a really close comparison between the two. The iPad 2 camera, front-facing camera, was VGA, very low quality, and took really bad pictures. Any of you guys that have had an iPad 2, you will know that you don't really like taking pictures on it. It is very pixely and blurry. So front-facing camera on the iPad 2, VGA. And same as the iPad 3, unfortunately, a lot of people complain about that because they wanted a really good camera in the front, so you could do some really nice quality FaceTiming. So you still got the VGA in the iPad 3, so nothing changed there. But what did change was the back-facing camera. On the back camera on the iPad 2, you have 0.7 megapixels. Very low. That is so bad. And with the iPad 3, you got 5 megapixels. So very big jump between those two. The iPad 2 can shoot at 720p. The iPad 3 shoots at 1080p. So very nice, crisp video quality. Both of them are 30 frames per second. And now in the iPad 3, they added the iSight camera in that. And if you guys don't know what that is what Apple is calling their new camera. It is in the iPhone 4S, where they added new optics in it and really bumped that up to really, really nice quality. It is said to be the best camera on any mobile device. So really, really well. Works really well. And it's got autofocus, tap to focus, face recognition, and a bunch of other things that some of you photographers out there might know. I don't know what they are. But so they did a huge jump between the back-facing camera, and I took pictures of this, and it is just amazing. I am so surprised and happy with it. So let's move on to the display of these two devices. This is where it really, really comes alive. Literally, it is amazing what they did with the iPad 3's display. So in the iPad 2, you got a really, really low 1024 by 768 display pixels. That's 132 pixels per inch PPI. It was very low, very, very bad quality on the screen. I didn't like it too much. But then with the iPad 3, they did a huge jump, just outstanding. Everyone is so surprised with the screen quality on the iPad 3, and that is one of the big reasons why I think anyone should get it, is just for the display, really, unless you don't care about it too much. But so on the iPad 3, they made a stunning 2048 by 1536. That is more pixels than any HD TV has, any mobile device, anything. It is so many pixels in this, and it's qualifying for Retina display, and that's a whopping 264 pixels per inch. That is 4 times the amount that the iPad 2 had. Overall, the pixels in the iPad 2 the iPad 3 was multiplied by 4 than that. So a really big jump. And the iPad 2 has 3.1 million pixels in the screen, so just outstanding. To me, it looks like a piece of glowing paper to me. Like, I'm not even kidding, it is outstanding. So that's the display between the two. Let's go on to the processor. In the iPad 2, inside you've got the A5 chip that is 1 gigahertz. So A5 chip, dual core, 1 gigahertz. And then the iPad 3, you still have the A5 chip, but they added an X on it, and I will tell you why in just a minute. So you still have dual core 1 gigahertz in the iPad 2, and still dual core 1 gigahertz in the iPad 3. But in the iPad 3, they added a quad core graphics, and to really boost up and help the Retina display and make all the gaming and everything much better. And it really does help. And then both of them have, oh no, sorry, the iPad 2 has 512 megabytes of RAM, and the iPad 3 has 1 gigabytes of RAM. So they did do a big jump between the two, and quad core graphics is amazing, and it's really helping out the Retina display. And so the processor in the iPad 3 is now called the A5X chip, and that is that they are both dual core but quad core graphics in the iPad 3. So that is the process between the two. Let's move on to the dimensions of these. In the iPad 2, on the iPad 2, there's a very slight change between these two when it comes to the size and weight between them. The reason why the iPad 3 weighs just a little more than the iPad 2 is because they needed a huge battery in the iPad 3 to power that Retina display and the quad-core graphics. So it weighs a little more. The iPad 2 weighs 1.33 pounds, and then the iPad 3 weighs 1.44 pounds. So just barely lighter, but it is still barely heavier, but it's still a little heavier, and not much to complain about. You don't feel it at all, really, unless you're holding both in your hands, and you can kind of feel a little difference between the two, but nothing that's gonna really bother you. And then the thickness of it changed a little bit too because of the battery in the iPad 3. The thickness of the iPad 2 is 8.8 millimeters, and then the iPad 3 is 9.4 millimeters. So the iPad 2 is just barely thinner than the iPad 3, just barely. You're not going to notice it. All of the cases are said to still work the same. All of the smart covers still work from the iPad 2 to the iPad 3, and so you're not going to have a problem there with the thickness of it, so don't worry about that. But with that said, I think that covers just about all the specs between the two. If you guys have any more questions, be sure to leave it in the comment section below, and I will answer those. If I didn't answer in this video, just ask me, and I will answer those as soon as possible. But that wraps it up for this video today. If this if this video helped you guys out, be sure to hit the like button down there below, so I know that is very much appreciated and helps me out a lot. And go ahead and hit the subscribe button above, so you will be notified on your YouTube homepages when I do a new video. And so go ahead and do that, and I will catch you guys in the next video. As always, thanks for watching. See ya.